Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So I had a request for a beginner choreography sequence that is good for small or low spaces. I know that a lot of us are training in unusual spaces and it can be a drag trying to figure out what moves work. So I thought that was a super great idea and that is what we're doing today. This choreography is 6 different moves plus their transitions. It's about 1 minute long and I'm going to show you 2 different versions of it. I'm going to show you a version for the less flexible among us. So no splits, no bendy positions, just simple, easy, pretty shapes that you can do even if you're not very flexible. And then I'm going to show you how to add in some splits and some more bendy shapes if you are feeling flexible and a little bit ambitious. I have tutorials for all of these moves on my channel already, so if there's a specific move that you haven't seen before or that you're having trouble getting the hang of, check out the more in-depth tutorial with pro tips and more explanations. I will link all of those tutorials in the description of this video. But first, the quick advertisement for my channel. If you guys like this video, please check out the other videos on my channel. It really helps me out when you watch my other videos, and subscribe. That is a big help to being able to bring you guys these videos every week. Also, there's a lot of good stuff over there, so check it out, subscribe, and yeah, I'll appreciate it. Let's start with the non-bendy basic version of this choreography. From being seated in the hoop, you're going to reach up with one arm and grab the span set as high as possible. Drop your hips out the back of the hoop, then roll over, turning your hips to face towards the ground, and take off the leg that is the same as the arm you have on the span set. I have my right arm on the span set, so I'm taking out my right leg. I'm calling this move the mermaid stag because it is basically a mermaid, but it's also in a stag position because I have both legs bent into my stag. Next up, put your free arm onto the hoop to help hold the hoop steady as you bring your knees together and slide backwards into your cradle. As you start to slide backwards, this will just kind of naturally happen, but make sure you're putting the hoop on the back of your shoulder and in your knee pit. I'm doing a nice big arm circle once I'm in my cradle to reach up to the top bar and sit up with one leg inside the hoop. From there, I bring my other leg in the hoop to a sitting position, and I'm going to do my push-up to the top bar. Place your hands on the top bar, palms facing forward and your hands slightly more than shoulder width apart. Next, I tuck my foot under the opposite hip. I am tucking my right foot under my left hip. Then reaching up with my left leg to hook my heel on the top of the hoop, pushing with my bottom leg, pulling with my top leg, and coming up to a stag with my left knee hooked on the top of the hoop. This is a great position to hold and show off for a minute. It's really pretty. But when you're ready, slip the bottom foot off the bottom of the hoop. Be careful here because the hoop will move around a little bit, so make sure that your head is not close to the bottom as it does rebound just a tad. Take that right leg and hook it on the top, coming into your knee hang hawks position on the top bar. Now we're going to transition into chest stand. So take the hoop and put it in front of your chest, bringing your head and shoulders to the back side of the hoop. Reach forward with your hands coming through the center of the hoop and grab as high as you can, nice straight arms on the sides of the hoop with your palms facing backwards away from you. Your chest should come to rest against the bottom of the hoop. Slide one foot down so that the heel is resting on the top bar of the hoop. Put a little weight in that foot and then take off your other leg, bring it behind you. Again, I'm in a stag position. This is a great way to conserve space. Anytime you have a position with a leg off, you can do a stag and it's going to really help you save space. To come out of it, I'm taking my free leg and rehooking it on the top bar, then sliding my other leg up to hook as well, and bringing my head and shoulders back through the center of the hoop. Next up is the clock split. Don't be scared because it's called a split. It is not going to require much flexibility at all. Place one hand between your knee and the span set. Whatever leg is on the outside of your hand is going to be your bottom or back leg in the quote-unquote split. Again, don't be scared. It's not going to be a super bendy move. Place your other hand on the outside of your other knee. So now you have the span set and one leg between your two hands and the other leg on the outside. From here, you're going to straighten that outside leg and do a big rond de jambe circle with your leg all the way around until your leg is pointing to the ground. To come out of it, just slide down. Your top leg will naturally slide off the top bar and hook onto the bottom bar. Bring both legs into the hoop to have a nice seated position, and we're going to finish up with a gazelle again in the stag position. Turn your hips straight to the side. You want to be as sideways as possible. Keep the hoop very close to your body and your leg close to the hoop. You should have your leg on one side, your body on the other side of the hoop. As you lean back and bring your front leg around to hook the front side of the hoop. Here you are again in that nice space-saving stag position. And if you're like me, your body is maybe a little bit low and you're having to use your abs to really hold your head up. I may have put my hoop a little bit too low for this video. Now let's do the whole thing again, but add in some more bendy and flexible moves in case you're feeling like you want to be a little bit contortion-y today. Don't worry, they're not too crazy. You could, of course, add a mermaid split, but I'm going to stick with this stag position because I think it's pretty and unusual. This section is all pretty much the same. You could, of course, in your push-ups, straighten your back leg, or even try to arch your back more and touch your back foot to your head. I have seen some people do that, but I do not have the most flexible back, so I'm not going to do that. The next bendy move you can add is the gopher, or as everyone else calls it, the chandelier. I call it the gopher because it makes me think of a little gopher sticking its head out of its hole. Once you come up to the top bar from your hawk's position, you're going to place both hands on the sides of the hoop next to your head. Don't have them too wide. And then push the hoop behind you, coming into a nice back bend with the hoop held out behind your head. Next, we're doing the same transition as before, but in our chest stand, instead of keeping your legs bent in that stag, you're going to straighten both legs and come into a chest stand split. This is, again, a really pretty thing to do on the top bar, and if you've got your chest stand solid, it's going to be quite easy for you. Our next split is the clock split. We did the easy version with one leg bent, one leg straight, but now if you're feeling comfortable, you can straighten both legs coming into a nice split here. You can also focus on pulling up with your arms and letting your back arch, so that can be another element of flexibility to incorporate. And if you wanted, you could straighten your legs in this gazelle and turn it into a gazelle split. I forgot to do that, so, do as I say, not as I do. And here's the whole thing at speed. I like to put a nice fast spin on simpler combos because it really shows the quality of the movement. I think that simple moves look beautiful when they're spinning fast. This combo is pretty simple in terms of sequence of moves, so a great thing to do with it is to focus on getting the transitions to be smooth, fluid, and effortless. Always remember that you can add in a big arm circle or a big leg circle or a nice hair flip or head roll to make transitions look more like part of the choreography and less like the step between two different moves. I'm using a single point hoop here, but this will all work equally well on a double point hoop. And before I go, I'll just say one more time to please check out my channel and subscribe. It really does make a big difference when you guys do that. And with that, I will see you guys next time.